Damn it. I tried to pause to let you guys start it, and then...
You were just going to sit there quietly and watch us like fucking
But it was
idiots.
so short. You guys just didn't even go the whole... We're running this one back. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome back, everyone.
Do it again.
Yep.
Episode 44. 44.
It is 44,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we just watched episode 43 to remember our skills from last
Yeah,
week.
what was my skill from last week?
Fuck. We only listened to R2.
Fuck. Okay.
No,
your
yours was
skill-
clearing up shit.
No,
Or
mine
like-
was clearing out shit.
Both
I
of you
did do
guys'
that.
was because
Yeah.
you actually made a comment about that, being like, "Oh, you guys are taking all my ideas from my skill."
So I was
Oh,
swapping
yeah.
out my, or I was cleaning out my summer stuff.
Oh, that's right. You were swapping out your summer stuff for your winter stuff.
No, I was
That's right.
cleaning out my summer stuff because I haven't swapped it over. Because every season I swap from winter to summer.
Well, I was cleaning out all the stuff that I swapped, and then I swapped out the stuff that I was cleaning. So
I got swabbed.
What?
It's good.
swabbed?
You should get swabbed.
Well, anyways.
Always get tested.
Oh, yeah. Always, kids.
Yes.
Always test your privates, especially with
Privates,
coronavirus
blood
going
work,
around.
the works.
Just get it all done.
Get it all done.
Get that little...
It's good because you know what's going on then.
Get that little, what do you call those things? The
Q-tip?
Q-tips in your pee hole.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Ouch.
it sucks.
Get your little
but
testing done.
You get used to it.
Do you though?
Jesus. All right. Anyways, welcome back,
That was
everyone.
an interesting start to this conversation.
Starting this one off
Swap
right.
appeals.
Oh shit! It's been a wonderful whirlwind of a week. I don't know
Yeah.
about you guys,
Yeah.
but it's been an intense one for me. Not really. It's been normal, but
It's been
it's been a long week. It
sporadic.
seems like.
mentally. It's been testing mental fortitude.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely that. Definitely that. So, anyways, should we just kick it off with our skills? Just get right
Yeah.
into them. Deep dive right in.
So,
All right.
I already did mine. Cleaned out and consolidated my summer shit that I haven't put up yet,
All right.
and so it's ready. It's ready to go up
You're
whenever
just,
I
you're good.
decide to.
So you just throw that bitch
Well,
on up there.
Basically, whenever Mother Nature decides to just fucking cool it down.
Yo, now she's like, oh, it's Thursday's coming up. Guess what? We're gonna be negative some degrees now.
Yeah, and then
And now we just got 5 inches of
Yeah.
snow. Cool, dude. Thanks.
fucking sweet.
Was kind of hoping that we'd hit that early spring here soon.
Yeah.
I can't complain. It's still early February, so I guess
Right.
this is the coldest month. But whatever.
Yeah.
Still, screw this.
Yeah.
I'm ready for summer. Anyways.
I agree.
Anyways, my skill for the week, since I'll go second since it was so close to yours, was to just get rid of a bunch of shit. So I went through my closet. That was the room that I chose to go through, or the section of my stuff I decided to go through was my walk-in closet, and got rid of a fuckload of clothes. Tried selling a bunch. Nothing sold yet, so I'm just going to take it all to Goodwill.
Right.
Sold a keyboard, that keyboard that I bought.
Nice.
Sold that because clearly not using that. And yeah, I've really just shrunk my closet down to the essentials at this point. So, and then this week I'll probably focus on another room.
Nice.
So yeah,
Sounds
woohoo,
pretty fun.
skill.
Yeah.
We're done.
Well, I worked on building an app this weekend because we talked yesterday about building a counter app that
Yeah.
literally
You
just
just-
you just press it and see who can build the highest score. However, I must have done one thing wrong because all of a sudden it's glitching out. So that's fun. So
Sick, dude.
it was
Fucking
working.
nice.
I swear to God, it was working.
Like 20
I
minutes
swear-
ago.
we
and now
both
we have
saw
a big
it.
old red screen that says
Yeah.
not working. So
Sick.
I
dude.
had to download this virtual machine and like set up my coding environment, which I had no idea how to do this shit. It took me hours to do, and now it's not working.
It was literally just working.
so
is the funniest
I'm
part.
extremely frustrated because I spent all goddamn weekend trying to
That's fucking hilarious.
So yay! Love
We
that.
literally were just 5 minutes ago. We were watching it on the over there. He's like, "Oh, you guys gotta go check it out. I finally built it. It took me 2 days." And
Yeah.
then like,
It's just not.
That's
It
a part of
knew
the
it was-
process, though.
I named the app D's Nuts because
Yeah.
it was hilarious.
'Cause
but-
why not?
And then right over the button it said, "Press this button, I fucking dare you." And
Yeah.
then it doesn't do anything.
it doesn't. Yeah, it just
numbers.
counts, and it's perfect. So that app will be released soon. You guys can buy it. It'll be $2.99 on the App Store.
Post your high scores.
Post.
Yeah, just screenshot. We don't have a high scoreboard yet, or like built in yet. So you're just gonna have to take a screenshot of your screen and then just send it to us.
Did you guys ever hear about that app called I Am Rich? No. Oh my god! All right, so this guy built this one app that literally all it does is it shows a picture of like a ruby, right? So then you download this app and it's $1,000 to buy. And
Holy
you
fuck.
only buy it as like a status
screenshot
symbol.
it?
And the guy built it because it took him 20 minutes to build, and he figured one person's gonna be dumb enough to buy this fucking app. He had like a couple thousand downloads on that thing.
Is this the
Holy
guy that
shit.
is this the guy that also invented the pet rock and sold it? Because it seems very
It's
eerily
probably like a
similar.
distant relative or something.
I feel like that's the pet rock version.
But like,
of the
imagine that.
mobile
Like,
apps.
you just build like a 20-minute thing that all it does is show like a picture of a ruby.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, I'm going to download this to show off that I have money.
That's so fucking.
When did he do
That
this?
is so.
It was like
smart.
that. It was like one of the first like paid apps in the app
Cool.
store.
So like we could reinvent something because all
Dude.
these kids nowadays have
Yeah.
no idea and they're all about that Instagram clout. We could reinvent something very
Dude,
similar to
yeah.
that and just upcharge the shit out of it. So that's happening
mean-
now.
I
We're
mean-
gonna do that.
I'm not.
now.
Yeah, I'm not opposed.
So
to
we're
that.
gonna do that now. Tune in next week when we own our own software company
Right.
because we're fucking rich as shit. Speaking of rich,
No,
and
that's super interesting.
hell yeah, I didn't want to bring the. I wasn't gonna bring this up, but I just saw it. It wasn't one of my topics, but I just saw it on Facebook. Bill Gates, second richest man in the world,
Right.
just flexed on everybody, including Jeff Bezos, who is the richest man in the world. He bought a $644 million super yacht that is, it's hydrogen powered. So it's like a super green
A
initiative.
giant bomb.
Basically, no. And it
Turn
has,
to Lex Luthor.
like, the picture of this thing, the front of
Back to the
the,
Hindenburg.
what the hell is the name?
Sorry, that was helium, not hydrogen.
Yeah, it was helium. Come on, man.
Non-flammable helium.
So the front of this goddamn thing is all just his main master bedroom.
Are
And
you
it-
fucking kidding me?
And it's got like just a window. So for those of you that can't see it, obviously it's a giant long yacht, and then right up in the very front is like a big huge
bay.
bay windows that cover it, and then it's just his bedroom right there, so you can see everything. It has its own infinity pool. It has a gym. It's a 33-man staffed yacht. It can have like
Why?
14.
Why not?
It has
I mean-
14 bedrooms.
Give me the money. That's why
Yeah.
not.
So that's fucking insane. That man just flexed on everybody. It'll be
Yeah.
ready in
Yeah,
2024.
but Jeff Bezos can. I don't know. He could shit one of those yachts at this point.
I
Like,
mean, he could,
yeah.
but this was Bill Gates' way of saying, "Listen, you're new money. I'm old money. I just bought a one of a kind yacht, and it's kind of his. I guess the reason Bill Gates did it was his extremely super extravagant way of saying he's all about the green initiative because it's hydrogen powered, and the only thing it expels is water.
Which that is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'll say
it
that.
is actually really
Yeah.
cool.
And it's just a dual engine. I guess they like freeze the night, or not freeze it, but they bring the nitrogen down to like negative 400 some degrees, or not the nitrogen, the hydrogen down.
Damn.
And that's somehow power. I don't know how hydrogen power works in yachts. I don't know how it works in general, but
have no
that's
idea.
what I was reading.
Yeah,
So
that's super
it's fucking
impressive.
crazy shit,
Yeah.
man. I want $644 million.
I want to work on that yacht.
For real though, I got my personal training license, like Bill Gates, dog.
I will fucking
Like I'll be your personal trainer, dog. Get me on that yacht. I'll be working in your gym. I'm cool
I'll
with it.
I'll be great company for you. How about that?
Here's what I want to know.
I'm a great conversationalist.
So it's a 14 bedroom, right? Mm-hmm. So that doesn't include where his staff sleeps.
Yeah.
That's a 33-man yacht, like staffed man yacht. So
Man
that's
yacht.
33 people.
Man
Man
yacht.
yacht. That's 33 people, extra people that are sleeping on there. Besides the four, that's on top of the 14.
Spacing for 40. Yeah, so
Jesus Christ.
do you think
You
it'd
know,
be
and
like
I'm
a
sure they're
cruise liner
bunks.
kind of thing where they'd be
I'm sure they're
bunked up?
bunks. They're
Probably,
bunked
yeah.
up, you know.
I don't know.
But even if you
I kind of want to check that out.
even if you
Yeah.
bunk up 2 to 4 people in a room,
Yeah.
that's still a shitload of rooms.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I'm sure they're like kind of down in the hole a little bit, but
Even still, I mean,
that's
that's
fucking nuts. And I mean, obviously the captain's gonna have his own
quarters. Yeah.
suite, you know.
I'm gonna see if I could find pictures of the inside of his super.
I don't know. They've only shown one picture so far because they haven't even started building this damn.
Well,
thing.
Oh,
it's,
they
it's
haven't?
really
No.
interesting because the front end looks like an icebreaker. Like
Yeah, a
that
little bit.
fucking, it's like a ram almost. So that, I mean, one, I would not want my room to be up front. Not a fucking chance.
He's all about it apparently.
I would
That's
be.
cool,
I mean, like-
but a really big wave is gonna fuck you.
Maybe
Why
that's
is
why
it
it's
gonna
angled
fuck
so
you?
much. It's gonna pierce right through the wave.
Right, but I don't know.
Why would it fuck
the
you?
the idea of
A really big wave.
well, no,
you know
no,
how
the
thick
idea
those
the
fucking windows
idea
have to be.
of having your room not centralized on a boat, like just personally, the idea of my room being like up against like the crashing point for what this ship is going to be, like that just scares the fuck
But it's
out of me.
not. I mean, you're way up high. The crash
Right, I'm
point's
sure,
way
I'm
down
sure,
here,
I'm
and
sure.
he's way the fuck up here.
Yeah.
So he just goes well, that fucking sucks. And then he goes and runs to the middle of the ship. It's Bill goddamn Gates. I don't think that anybody's going to
Have you
let
guys ever
this
heard
man
stories
die.
about his house? Like how he's got like a fucking like submarine launch pad like in the basement of his house in case somebody tries to kidnap him?
It's a 66,000 square foot house.
Yeah, it just shoots him out into the middle of the fucking lake or ocean where he's at.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's basically like a super villain.
Hey, excuse me one second.
God
do you
damn it,
think-
Walker!
No,
This
no,
is
no,
just
no, 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 no.
outrageous. This is so unprofessional,
Let's
honestly. Just kidding. Well, I kind of want to start our topics, but now he's gone. I don't know how long it's going to take him. We can start one though. Let's just take a while. All right, ready? First topic. We took more questions this week, obviously. So this one comes from Carmen again. Thank you. She wants to know, what celebrity would you have a drink with, dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Yeah.
That's a really tough one. Because there's a lot of people that would be entertaining to fucking hang out with, you know.
I guess it wouldn't have to be. No, let's do celebrity. I was gonna say famous person in general, but
Okay, well, if we're doing celebrity on like a famous standpoint, I'd probably either pick, for shits and giggles, Matthew McConaughey.
all right.
Because the
He is a goofy dude.
yeah. So I'd just like to hear his perspectives, and I've heard him talk a couple of times, and that I don't know. I like the way that he views things.
Yeah.
That or like Ryan Reynolds would be fun.
Ryan Reynolds would be a really fun one.
That'd be a fucking trip.
Grab a drink with. Yeah.
But I mean, like, not necessarily on like the character end of it, of him like hyped up and full of joke.
No,
but
just
like,
him in his
just
natural
conversation
environment,
piece. They're like Hugh Jackman. I know I'm kind of like pigeonholing like where these.
These are all superheroes so far.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't know.
Besides Matthew McConaughey, he's not really.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess he's a superhero in his own right. He's a superhero of a human. The fact that he does all these roles.
Yeah.
Like that new movie he just came out with, Beach Bum. You see that one yet?
I haven't seen that one, but it looked fucking awesome.
Oh my God! There's no plot.
Yeah.
Absolutely no plot to this movie. It's literally like these guys just got together and go, "What shit of a movie can we make that people are still gonna watch?"
Wait, that was the one where like he goes in the convenience store and he's like, "Hey, do you sell acid?"
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "No."
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, the last guy that owned this place did."
used to sell acid. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's his name is Moondog.
Moondog?
And he's like,
Okay.
so the premise is that he's a beach bum, but he's like a super rich author.
Okay, and then like I'd take it like everybody knows him from just being the beach bum and like just hanging out and doing
sort
his
of,
shit.
yeah. Like it's like him having all this money but not giving a shit, and he still hangs out with like
That's cool.
the scabs, and it's like, and then Snoop Dogg is in it, and
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Isla Fisher, who
Really?
Isla Fisher's a babe, by the
Yeah.
way, but yeah, she's in it, and it's just it's hilarious. It's so good. It's so stupid. Like you cannot expect it to be a good movie because it's not. It's not a good movie,
Right.
But it is. If you like Matthew McConaughey and you like shit like that, it's just entertaining to watch.
I'll have to
yeah,
fucking
it's
check
fun. It's a good one. It's
because
a
it
little
sounds
weird, but it's
it
good.
sounds funny as fuck.
Speaking of good movies, Bone Tomahawk. Finally watched that.
Yeah.
Watch that goddamn movie.
I'm gonna
It is
have to.
muffed up, but it is really, really good.
Yeah.
It's a good Western movie.
I still have to watch Peanut Butter Falcon, man.
Oh, I know. I haven't seen that one yet either.
Yeah. But no, I definitely want to. Actually, there's my answer.
Shia LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf.
Really?
I
Yeah.
would love to sit down with him now. And
Hey there, bud.
What's
Welcome
up,
back.
Dylan? Yeah, that's my answer.
Shia LaBeouf.
That's my answer.
All
Shia
right,
LaBeouf.
that's a good one.
Shia's LaBeouf.
Shia's a LaBeouf.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool because
Nice.
I'd love to kind of
Get to know
get
his
it.
mentality.
Yeah, get an unfiltered version of him. Like not like on like an interview, cameras rolling,
No,
but like on a
yeah.
sit down, actually get to talk to him and pick his brain.
That's very similar to what mine is, because mine, I don't know why I immediately thought of him, was Jim Carrey.
Ooh, yeah.
Wait, what's the topic here?
So the question we asked, we were asked by Carmen, was what celebrity would you have a drink with, dead or alive? So
Ooh,
Drake
okay.
has chosen Shia LaBeouf. I think I'm gonna go with Jim Curry.
Curry.
I think that's gonna be my guy. Yeah,
Robert Downey Jr.
Hell yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
Because you get to see both sides where you talk to him about his past and figure out how he grew up from
I
there.
don't know if you can have a drink with him though.
Why?
Sober bird.
'Cause I'm pretty sure he's sober. After he got his DUI and went through all that shit before Iron Man, I think he. I mean, maybe he's still drinking. I don't know.
I mean, like
Coffee.
There's a difference between being sober completely and like growing past the addiction portion.
Well, it
You know,
kind of
like,
depends
you know,
on who you ask.
That's true.
'Cause
That's very
if
true.
you go through the normal 10 steps, All right, I'm gonna relay into this topic real quick. Mind you, I do not have a problem with drinking. Like you guys have both seen it. I take days off, or I take like months off.
I have regimented days that I just do not touch. Anything.
I take days off. No, I take like a month off at a time just to stop drinking because it's just whatever. But there was this book that I heard about on Joe Rogan's podcast that this girl had read, and she didn't have like a drinking problem, but she read this book and it made her just not want to drink anymore. Right. So I got this book and I've been listening to it, and this plays into it, is he has a very different view on sobriety. Like the traditional is you go through this 10-step program and, drinking is a disease and it cannot be cured. Like you're forever an alcoholic. You're just, you're either you're either, sober for that time, but there's always that lingering problem. You know what I mean? And the way he goes about it is this isn't a disease. It's just that there are things missing in your life currently that you think are being filled, and you're mentally telling yourself like, oh yeah, like I'm drinking now because of this. Like this is my reasoning. Like it's
it's an effect versus
yes. Yeah. And so then he goes through step by step and dispels all of these myths of like what people's reason for drinking is. Like he says the one big one was like, oh, I drink because it tastes good. And he's like, no, it doesn't. Nobody, remember your first beer? Because you didn't like your first beer. Nobody has ever drank their first beer and gone, that was delicious. No, you're like coaxed into drinking it because you're like, at first, you're like, oh, this is kind of gross water almost. Because your first beer is always a shit beer most of the time anyways. Yeah. But he goes through and dispels all this stuff. And I haven't finished the book yet, but he encourages people to keep drinking throughout the book. Like he tells you, do not stop drinking while reading this book. Because by the end of it, you're going to not want to drink. I was like, damn, that's crazy. And it's like thousands upon thousands of people have read this book and it's worked for him. His first book was to stop smoking because he was a smoker for 30 years. And then he invented this method, I guess you would call it. And then now
that's definitely interesting.
It's just crazy. Like,
see, smoking cigarettes for me, like that was not very difficult for me to quit.
Yeah,
I smoked like the ones that didn't have like a lot of chemicals in it, so I was always about like the American spirits and shit. So I understand like that doesn't have the same addictive quality.
Right, I'm gonna just buy him that book.
Yeah, there you go.
Slide it under his door one day.
Well, and see, and that's
that's
definitely. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say that I think that drinking is much different because it's more of like a social thing as well. Like,
but he goes into dispelling that part too of how it's like, I drink socially and stuff like that, and like what defines being an alcoholic. It's a really interesting read. Like it's a really good book.
I'm definitely interested in seeing those perspectives because that's something that the psychological implications as well as like the social, and then that deemed with your own personal will. And we'll use that term lightly. It's an interesting contrast because you get those different ideas of what it is to beat, an addiction or to subdue it or to kind of put it off to the side or replace it or, kind of fix that issue for yourself. And everybody seems to have a different perspective on it. So I'd love to. I mean, like now, pretty much the only thing that I've been bouncing around, at least like subject wise with books, in that manner of like getting that different perspective has been just in and of itself that I've just been trying to read shit that gives a different, like the third party, it gives a third party perspective because
rather than the social norm of how things are thought about. Yeah, it's always fun to like see different angles of perceived.
Because I don't know. I think everybody else is. It's really easy to say, okay, well, step one should be this, step two should be that, and there is a regiment that has worked for a long time for a lot of people, but I think it's more personalized. I think things should be more personalized.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you updated on the book and how it goes because it's been interesting so far. I think I've got quite a few hours left of this book because I have it on audio right now, but it's definitely eye opening. And before we get back onto the topic. I will say that like when you do stop drinking for an extended period of time, so like I did that, or I tried to do the month of sobriety. I did almost a month. I think I was a week short or whatever, or not even a week, a couple days short.
Right.
But when I did break it and drink again, like I did not enjoy it
Right.
Like the first 3 or 4 times that I tried drinking again after that, I didn't finish a full beer.
Yeah.
Like I just was like, and it sounded so good in my head. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna crack open one of my IPAs. I'm gonna love life, go drink it in the shower, and have a good time. You know what I mean? I finished half of it and like dumped it, and I was like, I've never done this before. What am I doing? And it was just weird because I just was not. I don't know if it was my stomach that wasn't into it, or if it was just my mindset. My mind was like, oh, this doesn't taste as good as you thought it was gonna taste, and it's just weird. I don't know. So that's an interesting aspect of it.
Yeah,
too,
it is
is
very
that like,
interesting.
you kind of lose the taste for it almost, you know.
Yeah.
So and I even tried mixed drinks. That didn't work. Like. And now I'm back to drinking again, but like I had to like reestablish myself into it. It's weird. It was a weird experience for me.
Yeah.
But anyways, back onto the topic at hand. Who's your person?
Other than Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah, that's right. You picked Robert Downey. That's
Yeah,
right.
but I guess that's kind of weird. I guess maybe I shouldn't pick him because what if he
You
says
can pick
no?
whoever you want.
Yeah,
pick
you know
whoever
what?
the fuck
you
you
know
want.
what? Well, in that case, I'm gonna go Gary Busey. How about that?
Oh fuck me!
Yes,
no
dude.
way.
Yes.
Gary Bused.
Gary, you want to have a beer? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you about this time.
Dude.
No, I
Oh
think,
wait, I'm
guy
gonna
is
pick one.
all
I'm gonna
teeth.
pick one.
I think realistically, I picked Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because that
That's
guy's a
good.
fucking monster,
Yeah.
and I would love to see him personally.
Leo would be a fun one.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he'd be an interesting one. Because I would
Yeah.
like to hear. I don't give a shit about his movie aspects anymore. I care about all the other shit he's doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It just really interests me. So I'm like, oh, what? Do you really care, or are you a celebrity care? You know what I mean? Like, do you really care
get
about
it-
the issue? Because
yeah.
it seems like he really cares about the things that he's doing, but. You know, he's an actor, so it's pretty easy for him to play it off.
Well, what about like Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, like the people we were just talking about? Like, what if?
Well, I didn't even think about them. I was thinking more from a celebrity
Oh,
standpoint.
like a celebrity standpoint.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess you could count them as celebrities.
I mean, I would. I mean, the guy just bought a
Oh, yeah.
$654 million yacht.
Don't get me wrong. Like, if we were going off of like just movie and TV celebrities, then fuck
Right.
yeah, it would be Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos. Like, it'd be those top dogs like that. I would totally, or Warren Buffett.
JFK.
Yeah.
Well, Bill Gates just seems like a dad.
I don't
like,
know,
just
he
like a
might
total
be.
dad figure.
He might be a little brain dead.
Wait, who?
Dead or alive, you fuck.
I missed that one.
He's at JFK.
Oh God,
Because he was the actor,
he's
wasn't
a
he?
little empty-headed.
Who was the
Yeah.
actor that became president?
JFK.
Oh,
Oh,
that's-
that was Reagan.
Reagan.
Was that
did.
Reagan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew Reagan did. but I
Reagan
didn't-
was an actor?
Yeah. You know that?
He was a handsome man back in the day.
Hell
Back
yeah.
in the day.
I didn't know if JFK just banged Marilyn Monroe. So
No, he banged everybody.
yeah, he banged everyone.
He actually made. He had a
dude
public
fucks.
quote saying.
That dude, fuck. You ever just look at a president and go, "That guy fucks."
Yeah.
He actually had a public
And then he
quote.
got in trouble.
He had some quotes saying that if he didn't like get his rocks off like twice a day, he'd get like crazy, terrible headaches.
That is
Fucking nice.
So Jackie was just fucking getting it.
poor Jackie, dude.
Jackie, I need you in here, please.
She's like,
Oh,
she's like,
oh, they're
going-
not doing calls.
She's going in there.
fuck.
Right. Just
That's awesome.
Oh, he's got just a fucking tub of petroleum jelly in the Oval Office.
petroleum jelly was the shit, man.
Just handfuls of
man,
it.
if your grandma worked in DC while he was president,
Your grandma
you're
got fucked.
probably related to
Yeah,
JFK.
Yeah, your grandma got fucked by JFK. Your grandma's been fucked by a president. You might be related. You don't know. I'm just saying. It happens.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Anyways. Should we get into the next topic here? All right.
Actually, going back to presidents for a second.
Okay.
Lyndon B. Johnson was kind of the same way. He always like the whole reason that they call it a Johnson is because of Lyndon B. Johnson. He would always talk about his dick at meetings. So like he would actually pull his dick out and be like, "All right, so anybody got any questions?"
Yo,
like,
that's big dick energy.
yeah, seriously. Like, and there was a recording of him talking about like, hey, like to his tailor, like, hey, like I need you to make extra room in my pants because these pants that you're making are too tight around my dick. Like.
That's big dick energy,
And it's
dude.
like he just didn't give a shit. He'd be like, if you have any questions, consult my dick.
I mean, you think
Consult
he
my
had a hammer, or you think he just was like overplaying? Like
No,
a
that
guy
was the
with-
whole thing.
Like a guy with a big truck.
Guy had a hammer.
No, like he would literally whip it out in meetings and be like, you have any questions, you can consult this.
Damn.
Yeah, like
that's
that's-
a power move. Can you imagine if our president right now, any
That-
of them,
and that's
went
the-
up and was like,
Nobody wants to see that kid.
And that's the
All
kind
right.
of shit I read about in AP US history in high school.
that's amazing.
Because it's like,
But can you imagine
how
like
do you do a power move? Just have a big penis.
Like,
how to power.
Mr. President, North Korea has started testing nuclear devices again. What should we do about it? Get the video camera out.
Get my dick.
Bring it. Let's see yours, Kim Jong-un.
Quit it.
Hashtag nuke this dick.
Nuke this dick.
Weapons of ass destruction.
Prepare for the caca-cast.
Hashtag weapons of ass destruction. Oh,
shit.
that'd be awesome. That's a power move.
Dude.
That's a power move.
That encapsulates all of America right there.
That's.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
God.
You just got to put sunglasses on it.
Do you think they all do? Well,
You just got to put a little hat on
well,
it.
every
and an
depiction,
eagle's got a screech in the background.
yeah. Every depiction that we've ever seen on like TV and stuff, like whenever
Yeah.
they do like, oh, this is USA, or like they show, what was it? Adult Swim did that, where it was like they did like a classroom and it was a bunch of different people. It was like some war.
Oh yeah,
scenario.
and it was Hitler.
Yeah.
Little Hitler.
Oh my God, I forgot
And
about that.
it was always like when their depictions of the U.S. is just some fucking dude sitting in a corner with sunglasses on inside, just
Yeah.
like waiting, and then like knocks off his juice box. Nah, this is my problem now.
This is my problem.
Give me all your
Yeah,
juice.
Japan knocks over his juice box or something like that. Yeah.
Man.
Man, that would be
just beating
awesome.
the
I
shit
wish
out of
I wish
Britain.
that was like a regular thing. Like presidents like just
Dicks out.
BDE, just big dick energy, you know what I'm saying?
You brought up Little Hitler a second ago, and it reminded me of something. Taika Waititi won an Oscar yesterday for Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
nice.
want to
gu-
see that.
have you guys
movie
seen it yet?
so bad.
Sweet.
No, it's on
dude,
Amazon. I want to
It's
see
so
it.
good. You guys have to watch it. It's
Yeah, it
amazing.
looks
Phenomenal.
hilarious.
It was
Phenomenal,
great.
dude.
So, yeah, congratulations, Taika Waititi. You know, if you're watching, you know.
Yeah, he
Probably
totally
won't,
is.
but
I mean, this is a
very
huge
proud.
We're
podcast.
all open for
guys,
acting deals,
guys,
by
we're
the
kind of
way.
a huge podcast now. We just eclipsed
God.
600 likes on our Facebook page.
Ayo.
Ayo. Thank you all. We just eclipsed 600. Last week was 500. This week 600. Next week 700. Then we're going to hit 1,000. Road to 1K.
Road to 1K.
Hashtag.
You're all making mistakes, but
Yeah, we appreciate you either way.
We're all wasting all of your time.
Yeah, we don't know why the fuck you keep listening, but hey, we're here for you. Anyways,
awesome,
yeah. So, on to the next one here. Victoria would like to know.
Oh shit.
Yes, I am single.
How,
No, I'm kidding.
big dick energy. How do you think the world will end? Who's first?
Gamma ray burst. Because that way it's quick and quiet and it just dies.
Well, not
Yeah.
how you want it to end, how you think it will end.
No, that's literally how I think
yeah,
it's going to
sun
end.
flare.
Yeah. Well, solar flare, I feel like would that
Well,
would
it
actually
it would drop everything.
it would be excruciatingly painful though, because what happens in a solar flare is that you get basically like a
Radiation.
ion, like it's almost like an ion ray blast that would literally disintegrate everybody slowly.
Nice.
Like you'd all be like sanitized from the earth within like 8 minutes, but it would take 8 minutes to fully kill everything.
After 8 minutes,
As long as it took my brain first, and then I'm good. I'm already dead.
But a gamma ray burst, what it does is that it literally just flies at the speed of light with the most amount of energy that any one material can have, and it just disintegrates everything in its path. So we wouldn't even notice it until it's already destroyed the Earth.
So you wouldn't
So
notice it.
yeah, basically,
It'd be nice. It'd be
instant
real
death.
nice. It'd just be done with everybody. And then I would know I'm not missing anything
Yeah.
because everybody's gone, not just me.
I don't know. I feel like a conversation that we had a couple years ago, like, I guess on a personal level, like I'd want to experience that
Oh, yeah.
extinction.
Oh, yeah.
So like, I don't want it to be
make it more
instantaneous.
make it more personally.
Yeah.
But this is how we
significant.
think it
Yeah.
will end, not how we want it to.
Okay, so how I think
Yeah,
it's gonna end?
how you think it will end.
Famine. I think
You
that's
think
gonna be
famine's going to
I
take
think our
everyone out?
population
You
is
think
gonna
famine's going to cause extinction?
our population.
The elitists
has-
will never let it happen. They'll survive. They'll survive. They'll cut everybody else off, but it won't create mass extinction because there's going to be elitists left. A lot of crop.
There's a lot of crap.
Well, I think, and just the world in general. I mean, yeah, people might survive, but at least for the commonplace, I'll use that.
Do you guys think that coronavirus was created by China for population control,
I hope so.
or to help, or to curb the rioting?
I think it was to curb the rioting. Personally,
That would make more sense.
Yeah, because it disperses the entire
So
population.
you think it was
Yeah.
man-made?
Hell yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
It totally was.
Because I mean, like, what 5-6 years ago, did you hear anything about any sort of coronavirus?
No.
Yeah, there's.
No.
It doesn't just come out of nowhere.
No.
You know.
Speaking of, and I know we're going off topic again, but that's the reason we do this, is so you guys have topics that we can go off topic of. So there are reports coming out now, and there has been satellite images showing SO2 levels. So like SO2, usually when you see it in like an infrared, SO2 is when you like burn organic material.
Okay.
It's going to expel all of the SO2 levels. Like SO2 levels are what they test like when they take your blood, or not your blood, but like when they do
It's sulfuric oxide, correct?
Yeah, it's like when they do your what are they? Oh, fuck! This sucks because I used to be a first responder and I can't think of it. When they check your levels, basically for like your heart rate and everything like that, your oxygen levels, they also check your SO2 levels. Well, when you burn organic material, it releases SO2.
Okay.
And Wuhan, China, has recently reached extreme levels of SO2 in its atmosphere.
So they're just burning bodies over there.
They're burning bodies and not telling people because it has higher SO2 levels than the capital.
That's brutal.
And so it's like people are like expelling the fact that, like, you know, because some people are countering that and saying, oh, well, it's just natural emissions from cars and everything like that. And they're like, no. Wuhan is a much smaller place than the capital, and it's still producing much higher plumes. And they did the math, and they said in order to reach the level that it's at, it equates to almost 14,000 bodies.
Jesus Christ.
If it's all from that.
Jesus fucking
And there's been like
Christ.
photos taken of like government vans in a like line on the highways that have been blocked off, following each other down the road, and it's just this one piece of farmland that they think they're doing it at. And
That's
they're
fucking,
saying
dude,
they're
that's
saying that
fucking brutal.
they're saying that they're not being correct with them telling people how many people are dying.
Yeah.
Like they're like, no, it's way higher.
Unless that's like livestock and shit like that. But even still,
Yeah,
you know,
they're
with
saying
that
it's
contamination.
Yeah,
you're
they're saying it's a way higher amount of people. Like
That's
they're
crazy.
not even they're literally taking these people from the hospitals and immediately incinerating them
wow.
because they said they can't go through burials because of the infection.
Oh, so
I mean, it's like the Black Plague level type
right,
shit.
because
that-
it spreads through the air, correct?
Yeah,
there's
an airborne thing.
Well, then why? I guess
you're burning it?
incineration has
Right.
to be the only
Yeah.
option. Then, yeah, shit.
It's fucking wild, dude. And
is fucking
I'm
wild.
not saying which way it is or anything like that, but
Fuck.
China, get your shit together.
that's some
They're
wild
trying, but they're doing it in
shit,
fucked
dude.
up ways, man. That's some brutal shit, man.
If you explain to people why you're doing it this way, like if there's a scientific reason behind it to protect the rest of the world,
Right.
the world will understand to a certain degree. But don't just be kidnapping people from the hospitals and burning them. You know,
Right.
if that's
Like
the
you
situation.
can't. One, you shouldn't be lying about it. Like
Yeah,
you
that's-
should. Because
And it's
if you,
officially killed more than SARS.
no,
Than the SARS outbreak in China.
Yeah.
It killed 97 people in one day.
damn.
God's up there playing Pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. I'm moving to
So,
Australia.
I guarantee you,
Anyways.
Greenland and Madagascar are next.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting interesting thing. But
that is really
That took a turn.
fucking
That's-
insane.
So
That is
anyways,
fucking insane.
how I think the world will end, I don't think it'll be nuke. I don't think so. I think we're past that phase now.
Yeah.
Unless you nuke a country that's, I don't know, you nuke a country because they have some sort of viral plague.
But that's going to cause a mass extinction.
Yeah, think of it. Like if you drop any nuclear bomb that's large enough, it's going to create nuclear fallout, which means everybody's fucked.
I just feel like people will survive. And I guess it is kind of a loaded question because she's asking how the world will end. And
That's-
so for
yeah.
us to, it's kind of
It's
egotistical
selfish,
for
yeah.
us to say
The
if
world's
it's
gonna
when
end
we
when
die
we
is when
die,
the world
yeah.
ends. It's really so is she
When
asking,
does humanity die?
When does humanity
Yeah.
die off, or when does the world end? Because when the world ends, if I'm saying like the world, the
world?
entire world,
Yeah.
I would say it's gonna be
Heat
from
death from
our
the
sun exploding.
Yeah.
Or dying, I guess, not exploding, but from our sun dying, and
that
we'll
heat death.
and Earth will be incinerated before the sun dies,
Right.
because it'll just grow
Supernova
to
and
a
then-
large. Well, it'll just expand, and before it even finishes expanding, we'll be completely engulfed.
Our sun actually isn't large enough to go supernova, but it'll die off enough to the point where it'll create like a heat death for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So like
Oh, yeah.
it'll warm up to the
It-
point
and
where
it
our
can-
planet will not be able to sustain.
It can
life.
still
So-
technically expand large enough to it can go just. I don't know if it's just before Mars or just after Mars. Is how far they assume it can expand before death or during its death. cycle.
Yeah.
So I would say probably that's how the world ends.
Yeah.
Unless you include like asteroids, which may not completely destroy the
Right,
world, but
but it
could
would still-
reshape.
yeah.
You know, kind of like how
Take
the
out
moon
chunk
got
things,
taken
yeah.
out of the Earth. Yeah, I would say that's for the world. For us,
I actually think nuclear winter is going to be like the main
Yeah.
killer
For
of humanity. Yeah.
yeah,
In biological life.
Yeah.
Because if you drop like one nuclear bomb that's large enough, all that nuclear material goes straight up into the atmosphere and spreads right across the world.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it kills off
Smothers.
everything.
Yeah, that's
smothers
true.
So it's like,
everything.
and
but you
then-
don't think people already have stuff planned? I mean, you got to think about all these doomsday preppers and shit. They've got bunkers
Right,
See,
underground.
but
but that's
so,
all
like,
temporary.
That's
How
like a
long do they
4%er.
survive?
you could store enough food for a couple of years, but then how are you supposed to grow more food?
Well, some people have
know?
entire like crops underground.
Yeah.
And that's
With
fine.
recycled
but,
water.
But how sustainable is that for like long-term growth?
I don't know.
You know, like
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, look at
Well, you never come back up. You turn to mole people.
what was that power plant that exploded in Europe? The nuclear power plant. There was a Netflix
Chernobyl?
Chernobyl. Yeah, that place isn't habitable for the next 1,000 years still.
Yeah.
like
Well, I
if
mean,
there's
Fukushima, same thing.
if there's
Yeah.
a nuclear bomb that goes off and it's large enough to encapsulate the entire world in a nuclear winter, which also hinders all climate change at that point as well.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
have to. You have to. It would take obviously way more than one nuclear bomb.
But
to
if
create
one
that.
bomb's going to go off, everybody else is going to start following that.
True.
And,
Right.
I mean, if we drop a
Nuclear
bomb on, let's say, North Korea, they're immediately going to drop bombs right back at us, and then
they
it's going
won't
to start.
They can't. They can't reach us.
Well,
They
they're gonna
say they
bomb
can, they
somebody at
can't.
that point,
But
like-
China and Russia can.
Anybody
definitely.
that-
Everybody's
Yes.
going to start firing.
Anybody
their
that has nukes will be firing.
And then
nukes.
all the other
Yeah.
countries that don't have it are gonna be like, "What the fuck,
Guys.
dude? We're not even involved in
Stop.
this shit.
Yep.
This is bullshit."
Yeah.
But the thing is,
So
you drop one, it affects everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say that the end of humanity is humanity.
Yeah.
I mean, but a nuclear plume from one bomb cannot spread across the entire world.
It can if it's big enough.
We don't have. There's no bomb in current existence, nuclear bomb in current existence that can encapsulate the world in a plume.
The Tsar Bomba, which is the largest one that's ever been dropped, caused a nuclear fallout for I think like 4 or 5 years afterwards. Like there was still like black rain and stuff that was coming down.
Right in that
And
plume.
and that was like 50 years ago.
In that plume.
Yeah. Like,
But that's what I'm saying is the plume. There's no bomb currently, one bomb currently that could encapsulate the world in its plume.
I actually don't think that's true. I think that they probably created better nuclear technology since that because that was
I
50
mean,
Well, and
years
that
ago
has a
was
lot
dropped,
to do
you know?
with the atmospheric stuff too, because that all of that material gets picked up by, the wind tracks and everything else. And it's going to spread everywhere. I don't know why
They
I
had
put
an
so much emphasis
interactive.
on
They had
that,
an
but-
interactive doomsday map. The Tsar Bomba is still the largest in the world.
That's been dropped, correct?
That's
Or-
the largest in the world to date. Still, it's the most.
Yeah, the one that's actually been used on somebody though, correct?
But it's still the largest, even though it's been dropped. It's still the largest by
Okay.
anyone ever. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
but they have a doomsday map, interactive map, where it shows like the plumes. Like you can
Right.
drop a bomb. So you can pick the bomb and you can drop it, and you can show what the plume would create. It's kind of an interesting little map.
Well, yeah, it's interesting that somebody cooked that up because it's a good representation, good visual for everybody to
Yeah.
really understand how fucking devastating that stuff is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the common one now. I think everyone kind of thinks it's nuclear winter that gets us. Otherwise, maybe a virus. I mean, maybe an unstoppable virus could get us all, but I don't know.
It's tough to tell, man.
I mean,
Because
you're
like,
What if it's zombies?
well, that's what I was gonna go on. Is like,
but then
if-
are we
if we're
extinct? I mean, we're
Thinking,
still technically there. We're just
Yeah, you just
different.
evolved.
We're just evolved.
well, evolved
Or devolved, I
Jesus,
guess. Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting thought, just like on the potential that there is for us to die out. I mean, because like you had said, all it takes is one good mutation from a parasite or some sort of virus that is a super virus, is able to jump, is able to be airborne, is able to be jump species too. That's all it takes. One good chaotic mutation, the same kind of chaotic mutations that created us in general, that's shifting.
You think climate change could get us, or you think we go off way before that?
We'd go off way before that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
I think it depends on what our future technologies look like. And I know that this
depends
is kind
on
of
the
a,
legislature
this
that
is
goes
kind of a
through.
hot
Yeah.
topic because some
Very
people
much so.
still don't believe that climate changing. I get it. But it's real. Anyways, it's here. It's here, motherfuckers. I think that's too slow. Of a
Regardless of your
process.
political affiliations, it's like, you should just be taking care of the earth regardless. And
Yeah.
if there's a problem going down, it doesn't matter which political side you're on. People should be taking care of the earth.
The way that I see it is, if you see your neighbor throwing trash in your yard, you're going to be fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
So why not look at that at a bigger spectrum?
Especially when there's systems in place to prevent that.
Yeah.
If there's a way for us to prevent.
Garbage cans.
Yeah,
Guys who
exactly.
pick up garbage cans. Don't be a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
There does,
Fuck you.
There does need to be better
Fuck you.
recycling programs as well, because there's so much trash. Like look in the
Right.
ocean right now. There's trash islands the
There's
size of Texas
literal
out there.
islands.
Yeah, it's just there's got to be a better way to deal with it.
But they are inventing.
I hate it.
They're inventing technologies currently to help
Retrieve that.
Even
clean the island.
I mean, Chicago's got those fucking. I don't know when they started implementing them, but they've got those. They're like buoys, but they're half submerged buoys.
Yep.
That it's just like it's a drop down like tube essentially with like a screen, and it catches debris and shit as it's floating down the river.
It's kind of nice.
It's really nice. And some of those canals and stuff. So
Yep.
they just float out there and they pick up the canister, put another filter on.
They're even inventing like automated boats now that have giant
Like
catchers.
giant
Yeah,
Roombas,
yeah.
Yeah, they have like the
Water
little mesh
Roombas.
Water
nets.
Roombas. Fuck you, Roomba.
Roombas.
We should use some of those for the Rock River because Jesus, it's gross.
Dude, they're just
You know how many
picking up
bodies you'd pick
man.
up? Jesus Christ.
We're just gonna go straight there.
It's a lot of
Well,
bodies.
it's pretty brutal.
So, all right. Anyways,
Next
on
topic.
to the next question here. So this one comes to us from me because I'm interested to know
Yes,
the
I am
answers
single.
to this question. Good to know. All right. So, are you guys ready? What made you decide to get into the podcasting?
Pussy. No,
Have you gotten any since
No, and that's-
getting the is that
I
how
mean,
you get it?
I've actually gotten less.
Yeah. do you go to the
people
bar?
hear my voice
Yeah.
and are like, "Who the? No,
it's that
absolutely
guy.
not.
Do you go to the bar and they go, "What do you do for a living?" And you
Podcast,
go,
I wear our shirts."
I do a fucking podcast." And they go, "Oh, let me just suck your cock right now."
Yeah,
That was
at
a
the bar,
brutal term
absolutely.
to use, but I used it. I went for the most
You
brutal
just
version
watch
of
too
the
much
word.
porn, man.
Yeah, yeah, I do. You think?
No. But on a serious note, I think I don't know. I mean, outside of the
Stop hitting your fucking ring
I-
on
I'm
that
thinking,
metal.
man.
Just
Sorry.
kidding.
No, I think outside of wanting to hear my own voice or that little level of narcissism,
All right.
I really like the idea of a community based thing. So that was like my biggest drawing point.
Yeah.
was
Like
like being able to
talking
interact
with other
and,
people.
Yeah, and like interacting with you guys on a regular basis, which you know,
shucks.
I mean, I'm being serious,
Yeah.
like. Because it's important to me, you know, like these moments. I mean, we've mentioned it time and time again. Like
Right.
Mondays are my favorite days.
That's true.
You know, like this is what I look forward to start the fucking week.
Yeah.
True
you
that.
know?
True that.
And
It's very therapeutic.
exactly.
That's,
Yeah,
that was
I get
one of
that.
my
Exactly.
reasonings. Yeah. It's
You
just
know.
a thing. It's like, it's just, I come in here every single Monday and I tell people this all the time now. Like, Mondays are my favorite day of the week now. I fucking love Mondays. Like,
Mondays are the new Sundays.
yeah, it's like, it's super.
It's a better God's Day.
Yeah. It's, no, it's like a super, it's a way of talking with other people,
Yeah.
communicating with
Yeah.
other people and like just being able to talk about topics that you wouldn't normally talk about. Like,
Right.
because if you think about
Kinda
it, think
reverberate
about
off of
what
other people.
you
Exactly.
think about in your normal conversations of life. Like, I feel like we're in this age now in life where when we talk with people, like when we're hanging out with friends and we talk, like they just seem like such shallow and not intense conversation. They just seem like very non-unique
They're
conversations.
distant,
They're-
you
yeah,
know?
and
Yeah,
they're
that's the
always
way to
the
put it.
same. They always follow this same line of conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
How was
definitely.
your day? And
What you been up
do you
to?
want to do?
Yeah.
And it just seems
There's
like
no true connection there.
Yeah, it's interesting. So this is kind of a way, and I don't know why this is what creates it. Is maybe because it forces you into conversations. Maybe, I guess, and it's just like it's fun to come in here and actually have these conversations with people of like, how the world's gonna end. It's just these interesting conversations of what you can talk about.
Well, it's not just that, but you also get to share that feeling with other people that might not have that there available to them. So it's like they still get that connection as well, even though like we don't know who you are right now that's watching this, but maybe you feel connected to us because we're out here having those conversations, and you can live through us kind of vicariously as well.
Yeah.
So like we're almost like avatars for other people to enjoy conversation,
Right.
And that's a good point to have. Just it's nice to have that little avatar out there, maybe expressing some sort of opinion that you have. And then you be able to kind of like listen in and say like, oh, I agree with this guy, or oh, I disagree, but I like to hear this guy's story. And it's just nice to have that option out there.
And I think it's it's cool too, because when I listen to podcasts, my biggest reason for listening to them is like you're saying, is like it opens my opinion on things and like broadens my horizon of thinking on certain topics.
Yeah.
And I like to think that when people listen to our podcast, mind you, most of this shit is, penis jokes and shit like that.
Right.
But when we do actually talk about our topic or conversations, like I like to think that we offer that to other people where they go, oh, I guess I never really thought of it that way, or I've never even thought of this topic before.
Yeah.
And then like they go, like me and you we've done it before, like where I'll watch a podcast and then we'll actually talk about a topic that I heard about. Like, oh, I thought this was kind of interesting. What do you think?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I like to think that we offer that to other people.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my narcissic way too. It's not really narcissistic.
I don't think that's narcissistic at all.
It's just my way of doing that to other people, expressing my point of view. And it's just therapeutic to talk. I mean, it's not like we're having super deep emotional conversations, but just
not all the time.
Talking,
not all the time.
Yeah, just talking and about random things. It's just fun.
And I think you're completely right. There is a lack of connection when you're meeting out with like new people or just with current friends. Because like, I don't know. I feel like this is going to get like a little soapboxy, but like
go ahead.
with like the whole.
This is our topic.
Yeah.
This is the deep topic. This is the topic I wanted to hit
with
on.
the connection of like having social media out there and such like that, where you can always be connecting your thoughts and opinions with people.
Yeah.
It gets to the point where you don't have to ask anybody how their day is because you just read it 5 minutes ago.
Sure, yeah.
That's exhausting. I want to sit there and be able to have a conversation with people and actually learn how they're feeling or why they're feeling that way, instead of just they made a post and now I can see exactly what they're feeling.
True. Yeah.
I want to have more of an emotional connection with somebody, or like a more personalized understanding of how that person's mind works, instead of just reading, oh, this is how they are. I just feel like that disconnect from people is really affecting how we communicate with each other.
Oh, I agree.
And
No, most definitely.
Yeah.
That's why people are getting more drawn to the podcast shows, because you can still have that personal connection with somebody without having to, go out and try to meet new people or try to re-engage with people that from before.
Right.
We're always consistently having that connection with each other, and
Yeah.
I feel like people can live vicariously through that. So,
No, and that I really agree with those perspectives. I really do, because that's one thing. I mean, like even listening to other podcasts on your own time, like that's a feeling that is reoccurring. I mean, I have a handful of channels that I watch on YouTube that have those podcasts, or like have even conversation shows with like interacting with comments and stuff like that. But even with those, like you get this connectivity with that engagement that you don't normally get on your day-to-day. I mean, like, you might see the same person every fucking day.
Right.
Coworkers, maybe the person at the gas station that you buy fucking, sodas from. Like you have these constant exposures to individuals and to people on your day-to-days, but you never really get that connectivity.
Yeah.
Like that interpersonal one-to-one. I mean, like, we live together, right? And we've been friends for a super fucking long time. And that dynamic has always been the same. I mean, we got that constant push, constant influx growing up, to where it was like, you guys should do comedy, or you guys should do some sort of talk show or something. And then now having you integrated to it as well, which has been a fucking pleasure.
Which has been awesome. Yeah, I mean, it was a huge addition to the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that, and even like the interpersonal stuff, like, you were such a smooth fit because you have that same dynamic. You have that same willingness and need to express yourself and to talk about things, even if it is how the fucking world's gonna end.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. It's just it's a new point of view, and I think, not to cut you off or anything, but I think another reason why I wanted to start it as well is because, like you had said, people our whole lives that have hung out with us have always told us, like, you guys either need to go into comedy, you need to do something, and so it seemed like the best fit for us was a podcast, because it's it's hard to do comedy with two people. You can't really to do a stand up and stuff like that.
Improv.
But yeah. So it's like this was our way, and plus it when you do comedy, you're pigeonholing yourself into comedic comedic topics, obviously, which is fine. I love doing that, and we still add that into this. But this allows us to talk about other things rather than just that. But we can also throw in our comedic, timing in there and everything like that too. But another thing that I think is really cool about this is that, and I think it may happen with listeners too, subconsciously. And I think this is why podcasting has become so popular. I mean, it's surpassed radio by far. Yeah. It's one of the fastest growing media sources from news and everything like that. Like, it's just surpassing everything. And I think a reason why people enjoy it too is, for one, for us, for us being podcasters, it forces you as a podcaster to listen rather than to actively listen rather than
wait for your
concocting
turn to
your
talk.
response when we've talked about this topic before on a podcast. Like, I've caught myself where I will hear one of you talk, but I'm not really listening. I'm more just like concocting what my response is. I'll catch on to one part of your topic and I'll go, okay, that's what I'm going to respond to, and then I concoct my response. Whereas on here now, I'm having to catch myself and go, no, sit back, don't respond right away. Just listen to the topic at hand, listen to them fully through, and then decide what you're. And I think that's why people are liking it, like being audiences, is because they can't respond.
Right.
Like, the only way they can respond is after the topic is done.
Right.
Like, they have to listen to it all the way through, and then they can respond on comments, or social media, anything like that. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic where. And I guess TV is the same way, but you don't feel like the news is an example I'll use. Everyone knows that, like, the news, you're never going to have, how do I word this the best way? You're going to have differentiating opinions on there, but they're all going to be kind of the same. I mean, you know who owns the networks. You know who owns those, the narrative.
Yeah.
That there is a narrative that is being created no matter who's on the show.
Yep.
You know that there's a narrative being created, whereas podcasting, nobody owns anyone. You're in your own creative mind. Right. So they know that it's from a genuine spot that they're listening to people's opinions. And I think they
swayed.
and people enjoy that as well, because it's like people nowadays, like with media and everything, they think there's one end of the pole and then there's another end of the pole. And people don't realize that this end of the pole and this end of the pole is like 2% of the population. 98% of the population is right here on every topic ever.
And I think that's what news channels are starting to get wrong, is that it's not so bipartisan anymore. People are more complex than ones and
this
zeros.
isn't just political topics either.
No, just in general.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
People are more complex than ones and zeros. Like, it's not always going to be this. It's not always going to be that. It's going to be some sort of amalgamation of the two things between that.
Yeah, so, it's always
and any topic.
Yeah.
So
and we're not. I mean, it's just even when I listen to podcasts, and I'm speaking from someone that creates podcasts and from listens to them.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy, is hearing these expert opinions, but like knowing that expert is concocting their own opinion.
Yeah.
And even if they're not experts, just people concocting their own point of view. Back onto the point of like listening to a different view on life and shit like that. And the amount of stuff that I've learned through podcasts is insane, It's like reading a book almost. So that's kind of a cool thing too, and I enjoy doing that. And I hope that part of our podcasts, can create that for other people.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love making people laugh too. Like, I know there's people that tell me all the time, they're like, "Oh my God, like this part of your podcast, like I was dying laughing." And I'm like, cool. I'm glad that does that for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we were comedic relief for you. But I also wouldn't mind being like, hey, I never thought about that this way, or like questioning me.
Or, hey, I really resonated with this.
Or like, why do you think that this, why did you say that? Why did you think this way on that? So I think it's kind of cool.
And that in itself, I mean, like the questioning aspect of it as well, like for the consumer base, the guys that are going to watch us on a regular basis, and girls, I didn't mean that to be gender specific.
Actually, it's just
you're fired.
Just to throw this analytic out there real quick, I checked last week. 3/4 of our listener base is females.
Nice.
So
very cool.
What up, ladies?
But yeah, like it's at the least, I mean, yeah, I really like the idea of that comedic relief helping, or brightening up a potential shit day, or like making things go smoother, or making that time clock,
right,
go within seconds. But with even the most serious topics that we might go over, I really enjoy the idea of someone having a different perspective, because a large thing, we've talked about this before, a large thing or a large skill that people don't seem to have held onto or actively choose not to participate in is discussion.
Yeah.
So it's not the idea of two people sitting out at a table and talking their perspectives back and forth to try and get a mutual understanding for each other. It's, this is my opinion, that's your opinion. We're both trying to convince the other person that they're wrong.
Right.
Right. Whereas
And
it
it's
should be not
open.
trying to convince each other.
Yeah.
It should be, this is my opinion, that's your opinion. Neither of us is changing on our opinion, but it's really nice to hear
Yeah.
your end of things.
And
Because I may
not
learn
not in
something
a
from it.
combative way,
Right.
like that. It should never be combative unless clearly it's a topic that needs to have a serious conversation
Right.
or serious connotation.
Right.
Like, that's one thing.
Yeah,
But,
if it's something that there's a clear wrong.
yeah. Like even
so-
with the fucking the bomb thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So one person might not have statistical evidence. The other person might be extremely opinionated on, okay, well, I know this one point, but I want to make sure that you understand my one point.
Right.
That conversation, even as sporadic as it may be, should still have that common ground of discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should always be open
and
discussion.
That's exactly. And that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's a skill that everybody, well, a large amount of the populace doesn't really hold on to.
And I think, too, the biggest indicator of how dumbed down, I guess would be the best way to put it, dumbed down conversations have become and discussions have become for people, and how the media has kind of shaped minds, sort of, is, and I've caught myself doing it even, where I will actively not pursue a discussion on a topic that somebody's trying to bring up with me, because I know that although I have a strong opinion on it, I actually don't know that much shit about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, so then I have to sit there and go, well, how do I have such a strong opinion on something, but not have the facts to be able to back up?
I don't have that empirical evidence.
Yeah. How do I? But I have no evidence to back my opinion, and it's like you start to realize, like, oh, it's because this narrative has been pushed on me of this is what is right.
Yeah.
And I don't need evidence because somebody else came up with the evidence.
Right.
And now they're telling me what the evidence is, or they're not telling me the evidence. They're just telling me what the result is.
Yeah.
Because I'm supposed to trust that they came up with the evidence.
Or that they did their
Yeah.
work.
Exactly.
So, but now for me to, in order to combat that and discuss with someone about it and go, no, this is why I have that opinion. I can't do that because I didn't create the evidence. I didn't look into the evidence. And that's what I think people need to do is, I mean, it plays into the whole fake news on Facebook and stuff like that. Like people need to start reading up on their own topics that they believe in.
Yeah.
If you believe hardcore in something, you need to read up on it.
Or even if you don't believe in something, just go out there and just learn anyways.
learn,
That's why I
yeah.
like to read so much.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I know I spend a lot of time doing this, like especially like right before I go to bed. I read all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Just to get some information about useless shit that I'm not
Anything.
going to use.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just interesting. And like you can actually learn a lot about little things that maybe they apply more to your life than you think.
Yep.
Just go out there and read some shit.
And just and let your ego go. Like if somebody's trying to debate with you on a topic and you know that they're smart on that topic, you need to just say, hey, I actually don't know that much on my end. I have I have this opinion, but tell me the evidence you have for your opinion so that I can go and look up everything and decide for myself what I think is right.
I think the main...
We're too afraid to get other people's point of view.
I don't even think it's fear. I think it's pride. I think
it's pride,
people don't want to admit that, like, yes, I might not be as knowledgeable as what I'm coming off as.
Yeah.
You know,
But I shouldn't acknowledge that.
exactly. Like, nobody wants to acknowledge it because then your whole ego is based on that pride.
Right.
You know, like your whole personable standing is based around the fact that this is who I am, this is what I know, and this is how I act.
And people think that if you switch side or if you switch your opinion,
then you're unreliable.
That you're an unreliable source when really like that's a growth period. Like you've learned new evidence that has now made you decide that nope, I was way wrong. I was wrong on this topic. Here's the evidence I now have to show myself why I was wrong. It's just a growth. I mean, now it just God, I wish more people were open to that.
Having that courage to go out there and be like, listen, I was wrong about something, that speaks worlds to me.
Yeah,
honestly,
absolutely.
I can definitely resonate with people that are able to do that because it's difficult. You know, admitting that you're wrong about something is one of the hardest things that you can do as a person.
If we had a
So-
presidential candidate that came out, showed empirical evidence for everything they do, and then somebody else comes out, debates that, shows them better evidence, and they go, you know what? I
You're
was
right.
wrong on this one. I think that you may be onto something. Let me continue to further my research on it. Yo, that guy is going to have a way, because I just know morally that this guy is going to have way less pride in what he's doing, and he's going to be more open to conversation. And I'm going to know, okay, cool. This guy fucking gets it. This guy is what we should strive to be.
I wish that we just had a political system that would allow for stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it never will. It never will. Like it's a dream, you know.
Yeah,
it's a pipe dream. It'll never
Jinx, you owe me
happen.
a soda.
Jinx, you owe me 2 sodas.
No.
Never buy you a soda.
But no, I think
Full of sugar.
sugar's bad for you. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know we kind of went off topic and
No,
went
I
more
like
on
this.
to like the
No,
discussion
but that's-
end of things. But
I like having more personal discussions like this too.
yeah,
You know,
these are fun ones. See, we can be serious, guys. We're not all just penis jokes and really messed up topics.
mostly penis jokes.
We're mostly penis jokes, but we can have deep conversation. This was like 30
Real
minutes
deep.
of deep conversation right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So,
I think we need to go deeper.
well, we can in the live episode. Oh, every Monday we have our live episode. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube because that's how you find out when we go live and when we post new episodes. And maybe we post some skits. Maybe we don't. Who knows? You know?
Yeah.
tell.
But you won't know unless you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you should also like us on Facebook. You know?
Please.
Hashtag road to 1K. We're getting there. We're trucking right along. Don't forget to check out our merch channel.
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 Oh, channel. Don't forget to check out our merch channel in the link in the description below, on our YouTube page and on our Facebook page and all that stuff. And what's the last one I'm forgetting? Come on, guys, you know it.
Patreon.
Give us a hug. We like hugs.
Give us hugs
Yeah.
or give us your money.
We take direct checks.
We take patreon.com/WWLTW podcast. We definitely take we take donations.
I also personally accept Venmo and Cash
No,
App.
no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Totally do. I'll
Nope.
send you the information.
Nope. No information is being sent.
I need a new laptop. It's pretty
Finish editing of this podcast. Anyways, we appreciate all of you very, very much.
Yeah, we love you guys
Thank
so much.
We will be back next week. We're just getting closer and closer to our 1 year
it out.
anniversary.
How far away are we now?
We're at 44 episodes, so
Jesus.
52. Episode 52 will be our year.
Yeah.
Less than 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Good. That's crazy.
8 episodes left. Whew. Whew.
Very believable.
I'm
I
sweating.
knew we'd get here, man.
Sweating.
lordy.
Oh my goodness, we didn't pick skills for this week.
Oh, no.
I just remembered that.
I'm gonna moisturize my beard.
I'm going to moisturize Drake's beard.
I'm gonna moisturize Drake's beard.
Well, no, it was super fortunate. A very nice lady bought me like a care package for like beard stuff because I've been talking about it for a while.
So you're gonna moisturize it?
moisturize, got the oils,
Nice.
fucking brush, the
beard
comb.
lube.
Do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
All right, what do you got for a skill this week?
What am I
quick,
gonna do?
quick.
You go first. I'm thinking still.
Fuck, I don't know. You go
Oh,
first.
God, no, this sucks. I am going to. What am I gonna do? I am going to. I don't know. I don't have anything.
All right, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna go off of one of yours.
Yes.
I'm gonna steal one of yours. I am going to finish at least 3 books this week.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Dope.
Boom.
I'm gonna work out every single day this week.
Every single day?
Every single day this week.
Damn,
Yeah,
I'm
sweet.
working out every single day.
Yep, I'm working on getting back into shape because I have gained back a lot of weight, and I'm trying to get rid of that shit. It's not even a lot of weight; it's just like a lot of stomach fat.
I
'Cause
get you.
That,
It happens.
I gather it right here, and
I
it
get
sucks.
I get
So
it. All right, cool. That was our skills.
Yeah.
That was easy. Sorry that we waited to the end of the episode for those of you
It's
that
fine.
actually wanted to hear them. But
Yeah.
anyways, thank you again.
Yeah.
We love you.
and if we don't see you,
We'll
good
see
morning,
you.
good afternoon, and good night.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
fuck did we get cookies, man?
Was I
we got
sleeping?
cookies? Are you guys
Was I
fucking me?
sleeping? All right, bye
Sucking
bye.
my dick right now?
You suck. You rub my lamp.
you sucking my dick?
You rub my lamp.
Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up?
Bye.